Okay, so we're supposed to find the inverse of the matrix. So it means this matrix. How do we find the inverse of a matrix? Well, I'm going to show you by hand, and then I'm also going to show you on a Desmos website, and then there's also going to be another video attached to this one that shows you how on a TI graphing calculator. So several methods here. So here is the formula. So the inverse formula, the inverse formula for a matrix A, B, C, D, the inverse equals, in fact, let me actually back it up and give it a little more room. The inverse equals 1 over AD minus BC times, and then you switch this diagonal, so D goes there, A goes there, and you change the signs on the other two. So there it is. There is the formula. Let's try to actually do it now. So I'm going to take this matrix, bring it over here, and it is 0, 2, 8, negative 1. So the inverse will equal, so it's 1 over, so AD, that's this main diagonal. So the main diagonal multiplied, that's 0 times negative 1 minus B times C, which is the other diagonal. B times C, 2 times 8. So it's all about diagonals. So it's the main diagonal multiplied minus the other diagonal multiplied times the matrix. What matrix? Well, you switch the main diagonal. So I'm going to, let me change my color. I'm going to switch these two. So negative 1 will go here, 0 will go here. And then I change the signs on the other two. So the 2 became negative 2, the 8 became negative 8. Do you see that? And so now, let's simplify that. What is this? This is 0 minus 16. This is 1 over negative 16. And so that is going to now multiply to all of these. It's going to go there, 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 and there. It's going to multiply everybody. So what do we get? So positive 1/16, because this negative times negative. And again, positive 2/16, because this is 2 over 1, 1 over 1, 8 over 1, positive 8/16, and 0 over minus 16. Simplifying those fractions, what are we going to get? We're going to get 1/16, and then 2/16 becomes 1/8. And then 8/16 becomes a half, and 0/16 becomes 0. There it is. That's the inverse. That's how you find the inverse by hand. Now, let's go find the inverse using a website. So one more time before I leave this, let me rehash this, make sure it's clear. So there's the formula. You have to figure out this number in the front first, which is 1 over the main diagonal, AD, minus the other diagonal, BC. And then you multiply that number times these numbers swapped, and the other two numbers signs changed. So I did all that. There's the answer we get. This is the inverse. Let's go to Desmos. So I'll go to my calculator here, and I'm going to my browser, Desmos matrices. I'm typing in Desmos matrices. Go. I'm just searching for Desmos matrices. My little iPad browser here. It's a little slow. Searching around. It's usually the first link that comes up. If it comes up. We're a little slow here. There it is. See the first link, Matrix Calculator Desmos. Click right on that. There it is. It's a beta. It says at the top it's in beta. They're testing it. So you make it a little bigger. So now we just put in, so I put in, hit new matrix. 2 by 2. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't need to adjust that. 2 columns, 2 rows. So I'm going to put in the matrix, the original matrix, which was 0 and 2 and 8 and -1. Hit enter in the lower right corner. So I've got it, and now I'm going to say matrix A, and I want the inverse. I'm going to hit the A inverse button. And there it is. Now, it did it in decimals, so you would have to change those decimals back to fractions. But those are the same exact decimals as we got fractions on the other one. The TI-84 graphing calculator can do this also, and I'll attach another video where a gentleman does it that way, and that calculator can easily change all these decimals back to fractions for you. So that's super nice if you have one of those. So back to the problem. There it is by hand or by Desmos calculation for decimals, or by TI-84 calculator if you have one of those on the other video.